Welcome back to Have You Met Her Yet? Today I have Jane from Organized Jane. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
How are you doing?
Yes, I think I'm doing well. So I'm
Yeah.
just keeping up with everything.
Awesome. So I always like to get started with learning a little bit more about yourself. So if you could tell us a little bit about your story, what you do, and how did you get to where you are currently today in your career?
Yeah, that's a great question. I try and keep it short, but I'm Jane Stoller. People call me Organized Jane too. That's my brand for the last year and a half. And I call myself a life-biz organizer because I like to help people and businesses get more organized. So I do this through a variety of ways, from my books to workshops to one-on-one coaching and my online courses, speaking events. And I really have been doing this my entire life. I've been passionate about organizing since I was 6 years old. But I followed a traditional route in school. I worked in corporate for 10 years, but I realized I was still organizing things, people, and processes. So I took the leap about 2.5 years ago and started Organized Jane. I'm doing that full time now.
Amazing. And so before you started it, was there a moment in time that made you realize, okay, I want to be my own boss. I want to start my own business. Can you maybe talk a little bit more about that?
Well, I think it's so important we talk about this, and I'm glad you brought it up because a lot of us have these turning points in our careers or our lives, or something happens that is like, okay, I'm ready. And when you have a corporate job or a job, I'd say there is a part of you you feel safe, it's there for you, there's less risk involved. And I was so scared to market myself. I'd started this business 10 years ago, fresh out of finishing an MBA, and I thought I could do it, but I was just too scared. I didn't have podcasts like this or groups or like events or
Yeah.
mentors. So I was just intellectually, I was okay, but scared. So then again, 3 years ago, I was traveling all the time, 75% of the time with my current career. I was burnt out from traveling and going to meetings that I thought were useless. There was a lot of inefficiencies, and I was tired of helping big corporations make more money, where all I really wanted to do was help entrepreneurs get more organized, and I wanted to help them. So that was my company was going to move me again from Switzerland to France, and I was like, nope, that's enough. I'm starting my own business.
Yeah, you're over it.
Exactly, over it.
Yeah, and it's funny that is definitely a common story amongst many entrepreneurs where they've been working with and for someone for a very long time. They start to kind of get against the way that they're running their business. You can quickly realize that, maybe you could be a bit more efficient, and you eventually end up leaving something because, you're not happy selling something that you're either not passionate about, you're not excited about, etc. So are you able to share a little bit about some of the things that you went through when you were launching your business, like any hardships, any struggles that kind of shook you when you were starting?
Yeah, another great question. I think we all need to talk about this more because, on the outside, it looks like I have a perfect business. I have a great Instagram, a mantra, a brand, but really it takes so much to get there. And as you know, you're in the branding and design space, and it's so hard to even figure that part out. So in the beginning, I didn't even have a brand. I just kind of got consulting clients, and I was still really scared of that marketing piece and telling people what I did.
Yes.
So I find I had to hire a business coach, and that really helped me. So that helped me get over my fear, helped me hone in my message. And I hired specifically like a personal branding coach.
Oh,
and
okay.
I think you have to hire someone that aligns with your fear to help you get over that. So that was who I hired then, and I still have a coach now for other things. So I think when you first start out, you need to have that support.
Oh, that's really, really great. That kind of was going to tie into my next question of, is there a resource that you can share that helped you? So having a business coach was something that was really helpful for you.
Oh yeah, 100%. And everybody always asks me, what's the number one tip? I say you need a coach, a team of mentors, a tribe you can rely on, like whether it be online, offline. But again, a coach is someone who, yes, you're paying, but you're also getting their time for that. You can't sometimes go to your mentors all the time for questions.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you're paying something for something, you actually follow through.
Yeah.
So my personal branding coach, she was actually from Germany at the time, but lived in Dubai. Now my coach is from Vancouver, and it's more on, automation and things that I need help with. So
Yeah.
again, I think you need a coach for the time in your business that you're going through.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're really right with the commitment piece, because you're way more committed when you are investing in yourself, and it's something you're going to show up to and you're going to take really, really seriously. So it's funny, that difference between, having people you can talk to, but then having someone you're actually investing in,
Exactly.
for sure. Yeah.
Yep.
So you kind of touched on this, but did you have a professional mentor or someone who inspired your career?
Oh, I've had so many. I think, the very beginning when I was a kid, it was even Martha Stewart, and I saw
Oh,
what she did
yeah.
with that lifestyle brand, and
Right.
she really brought professionalism into it. She had products. She was always like, for me, that was kind of my idol growing up, and minus the jail part, but but really taking that was when the lifestyle businesses started to explode. and
Yeah.
and and now I have so many mentors, I can't even list them all, but a lot of even motivational books I read from, the Jen Sincero, the Gabby Bernstein. So a lot of the people that I follow are online or in books, but they're inspirational.
Amazing. Amazing. So other than organizing, what would you say are three things that someone has told you you're good at or admire you for?
Oh, it's a great question. So, number one is really being an activator. Like, I'm not a perfectionist, even though people think I am. But I hire out that skill. I just do things, and I big picture go for it, and then I leave the details to somebody else if I can.
Yep.
And also, I'm super positive. A lot of people say that's a strength that I have. Even during this times, I'm trying to be always positive and look at the, what's coming, that what can we get out of this situation, right? And a lot of
Yeah.
businesses I'm finding are doing that.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. That's really, really great. And so, you're an author, as you mentioned. Are you able to share a little bit more about the books that you've written, sort of what that process was? When was the moment in time where you're like, this is something I'm going to do one day?
It was funny because I'm in during COVID. I'm at my parents' house, and I was finding some books that I wrote when I was 6 and 9 years old, and I always wanted to
Oh,
be an author.
wow.
Yeah, so it was quite
Oh,
interesting. We were reading them, and I thought, wow, this is so cool. But I've always enjoyed the writing process, and for me, it's an outlet. I'm so passionate about organizing, and when I lived overseas, I wanted to take all my advice into a book to give to my friends and family.
right.
And I'm really scared of flying. A lot of people don't know this about me, but I always think when I'm on an airplane, if like it's going to crash, and I'm like, oh my God, how is everybody going to know my organizing advice? So I really wrote my first book, Organizing for Your Lifestyle, and I wrote it for that purpose. It was self-published for friends and family, but it really helped catapult my career into Organized Jane.
Wow, that is so cool. I mean, such a hilarious backstory as to why you felt the need to, like, okay, I need to get this in. I need to have this legacy of all of my organizational tips. But yeah, that's really, really fun. So I would say, so you've done a few books. I also know you're a speaker. I also just noticed that you're going to be a speaker for Create and Cultivate coming up. Did you want to share a little
Wow.
bit more about that?
Yeah, so it actually was just a couple days ago. So June
Yeah.
6th, Create
Congrats, by
Cultivate.
the way. That's
Yeah,
super
thank you.
exciting.
I've been spending 2+ years creating the speaking career. It doesn't happen overnight. You have to really, first of all, have something to speak about. And
Right.
also, I've done so many events and traveled all around, paying for photographers and videographers, documenting, doing free things. So now I'm at that level where I have a really dialed in, like, sizzle reel, and I can call myself a speaker. So I'm really excited. At Create Cultivate was an amazing event. I did a 30-minute workshop on decluttering your mindset and getting organized. So it was a wonderful experience, and maybe some of your listeners attended.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. That is a huge accomplishment to have. And
Mhm.
as you mentioned, it takes a lot of work to build up a speaking portfolio. Um, do you have any advice for someone who wants to be a speaker or wants to kind of go down that route to build up something?
Yeah, I would say get on as many podcasts like as you can, like we're doing right now. Align yourself, reach out to everybody and say, how can I support you? And even I did a lot of speaking events just at corporations, and I said, hey, I have this workshop. Can I do it? And then I would film myself. Or
Okay.
hire a videographer, because you need a lot of speaking events will be like, where's your reel? What have you done?
Right,
So you
right.
really need to have that dialed in. It needs to be professional, and it really takes time. A lot of people say to me, "Oh, you've just overnight. You get paid for speaking events." And it's like, no, it's cost me a lot of money and a lot of time to get here, and it really,
Definitely.
you need to put the effort in, and it will pay off if you put the effort in. And you have to have something you're super passionate and knowledgeable about to speak about in the first place.
Right, right, right. No, that makes a
Mm-hmm.
lot of sense for sure. Do you have a time that was one of your favorite speaking moments that you've had?
Oh, yeah, there was a lot actually, but I think the last event that I did, because it was so fresh and it was just on March 1st, it was right before COVID was hitting, and it was in LA. So it was the last event that I did, and it was
Oh,
with Boss Talks Network, a network that I'm a part of now. But I was doing a brunch there, and I was the panelist, and it was such a group of inspiring entrepreneurs around the table, and the moderator too asked everybody what they needed to support them. So I really like speaking at events where everybody's involved. I'm not there to just I'm there to share my story and inspire, but I also want to know, how can I help you? And that really impacted me. And it was the last time I was at a speaking event. So
oh, I know. It's so funny. If I think if a lot of people would have known a lot of things were to be the
oh,
last, you might have
uh,
appreciated them a bit more. I mean, it's so hard to say that right now, but it is hard to look back on those last moments of being somewhere.
oh yeah. But you know what? I'm confident it's all going to come back, and we're going to
Yes.
be busier than ever.
Yes,
Hmm.
definitely, definitely. So you've spoken a lot about traveling different places and taking on many different projects. How do you find balance? Like, what is your strategy for avoiding burnout?
Being organized.
Yeah,
And
organization.
exactly. And the course I'm doing now it's called the Quarantine Business Booster, just for this time, but it really helps successful business owners get their back end of their business organized so they can free up more time. So I say it's all about that, knowing where to spend your time, looking at your tasks, outsourcing what is not your zone of genius, and getting
Right.
to the laser focus. And that's how you can avoid the burnout. Um, and of course, getting focused on what your offer is and what your end goal is. So not going in too many directions, but that's where
Right.
business coaches can help.
Yes, yes, absolutely. No, that's really, really, really good advice. What would you say is your unique skill set that has helped you become successful this far?
The discipline and consistency, because it takes so long, as you know, especially in your business too, just a lot of being consistent, even when
Yeah.
you don't see the return right away, and you think no one's watching if I do this post, or nobody cares. You just need to be consistent, show up. And that's the number one reason that I'm where I am today. And I have
Yeah,
to continue to be, because nobody cares about my business. They care about what I can do for them.
absolutely. That's really, really good advice and a great reminder for yourself. So, how do you keep motivated to be consistent?
Yeah, just like everybody, I have some days, like yesterday I had a bad day or bad call, and I get sad and depressed.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
and then other days you get, like, then I got an email from one of my clients in my course who was so excited, and I was helping her.
Oh,
So I think it's really, you're gonna, as an entrepreneur, the highs and lows are
that
bigger
roller
than ever.
coaster.
Exactly. So you're gonna have to really understand the purpose of what you're doing, who it helps, and just really focus on that. So if you were not helping them, they wouldn't get the benefit, and then it wouldn't you'd be detriment to, I say, the world. But
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. So, how has your business changed during quarantine and COVID-19? Can you share a little bit about what that looks like?
yeah, so it was, I was quite honest actually in one of my newsletters, and a lot of people appreciated that, because we don't talk about money enough, or as women we're always downplaying things. So I shared, like,
Definitely.
a lot of my income was from speaking events, so like to the tune of six figures, and that has
Yep.
now been perhaps canceled or postponed.
Right.
So that was a big, and now I've sort of shifted online. I've also moved my workshops to an online coaching community, so I've been able to still help people during this time. So from a, like, let's say a direct income perspective, a big hit, but I'm also confident that there'll be other avenues. And as long as I keep showing up and serving, I'm confident it'll all come back.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of a bit crazy how things have shifted, and things that you relied income on before, which is something you probably never thought would go away. I mean, who could have
Yeah,
thought events would go away and speaking engagements? So it's really made us have to look within, have to really think about the things that we're doing. Is there anything that you've added or that is new to your business because of everything happening?
yep. The quarantine business booster. It was
Oh,
a
great.
workshop, yeah, that I did kind of one-on-one with people, and now I've taken it onto a group coaching.
Yep.
So it's the founding member. It started on May 5th, so it'll go 6 weeks, and then I'm likely going to automate it. But it's really a founding member course that I started right during quarantine, and it was my business coach even helped me suggest it, and it's something that I probably wouldn't have done. So it's a good thing in that
Yeah.
perspective. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's kind of funny how some opportunities are sitting there and it takes moments like this to really push it into action and bring it to life, right?
Exactly. And I'm saving like time. We're not commuting. We're not going out for dinners. We're not like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of like, and I know people joke we have so much time to watch Netflix, but there's also a
Yeah.
lot of time to listen to podcasts and,
Yeah. Yeah.
read books and get organized. And I think people who are doing that are going to see the benefit.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, the next question I was going to ask. So if you weren't doing Organized Jane, if you weren't doing your current business, is there anything else that you'd want to do or you haven't done yet? And why not?
Oh my gosh, I love organizing, but I probably want I'd like a TV show
Okay, okay. And TV
or
show
write
on
books.
organization?
Well, of course, a TV show on organizing if I could, but I really like the whole TV aspect, and I like writing books, so I'd still probably be doing those two things.
Yeah.
But if I don't know what I'd write about if it wasn't about organizing, so that would be a good question.
But that's amazing. I mean, it's a wonderful thing when you truly have found your passion, which it
Hmm.
definitely seems like it's something that you have. And it definitely seems like it's taken you many years to build something up that you love and that you're excited and that you're passionate about, which is really, really amazing.
Well, thank you, and you too. I
Oh,
know
you're
you were just
welcome.
nominated for the RBC Women of Influence too, so it's very exciting.
Thank
Congratulations.
you. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm very excited about that. Yeah, I was very shocked when I got the nomination. It was on like a very deep, dark, depressing COVID-19 day where I did not feel like a woman of influence. I did not feel like an entrepreneur. So it was, sort of like that email that you mentioned you got from a student where it's,
Hmm.
you're deep and low, and then it's just one tiny thing that makes you feel a lot better. So yeah, that was the motivation that I needed. So thank you for that. Yeah, I
Hmm.
greatly appreciate that. So with organization, what is the most popular thing that people are looking to you for?
Oh, it's a great question. A lot of people always say to me, I don't know where to start. I'm so overwhelmed." But right now, when I dig a bit deeper, most people are stressed about their computer, their online files, their email
Right.
management. Like email decluttering is huge right now. We
Yeah.
don't know where to
Oh
start.
my goodness.
Photo decluttering. So a lot of tips on that on my YouTube channel. My most watched videos are around those topics.
Oh, great.
Um, and also, closet organizing too is still quite popular because that's where I say you should always start with. Get your style focused, get your closet organized, and then the rest of your home will follow. But
Yes. Yes.
digital organizing, I think, is going to be even bigger after COVID.
Absolutely. And it's really funny. My phone and my computer are things that are always on the back burner. I mean, especially photos that I have, email, like just apps, everything. And that's one thing that I've seen the reminder to do that in my calendar and things of like lists of things to do, and it's always something that I think is not important, but it should be important because it declutters my entire work every time I'm trying to find a photo or a file or something. So I really have a hope that I can take some time to do that, because it is really, really important to declutter those technology pieces that we use every day.
Please do it. And there was an Instagram post that I put out a little while ago that said, if after quarantine our photos are not decluttered, I'm going to lose it.
Oh my goodness. Yes,
So,
yes. That
so
is very, very true.
I encourage you to like put even 3 hours. I know it'll take a lot of time,
Yeah.
but have
Yeah.
a glass of champagne, do it. And
Yeah.
I'm going to follow up with you in July to
Oh,
make sure you've
please,
done it.
please do. Please
Because
do.
it's
Yeah, I
so
have tons
important.
of things. Yeah, it's very true. It's
Mm.
definitely something that I need to work on. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to do was to go over a quick quarantine speed round. So I
Ooh,
want you to answer these questions, just the first thing that kind of pops to your head.
okay. It's
All
fun.
right. So your takeout food of choice.
McDonald's.
McDonald's. Nice.
Don't tell anybody. Oh yeah, this is a podcast.
Your Netflix guilty pleasure.
The Good Wife.
Ooh, The Good Wife. Okay,
Mhm.
okay. What item of clothing have you worn the most?
Roots jogging pants.
Okay, yeah. Oh, so comfy, so
I know.
comfy.
Mhm.
Yes. What has your actual daily routine look like?
Sadly, it has not changed because I've been working from home before, so it
Right,
really.
right, right.
I still get up and I do the same thing I've done before, and I don't have a morning ritual. I do what I look the night before and what I'll be most efficient on. So it hasn't really changed.
Right, right, right. No, that's
Mhm.
great. Have you done anything out of the ordinary, like create a new project or a hobby?
Um, Not really, actually. I've just been reading a lot more books and rereading them, so I haven't really got a new hobby though.
Okay.
Hmm.
That ties into the next question. Have you read any books? So which are you currently reading?
I'm rereading one of my favorite books called Traction.
Okay.
It's by Gina Wickman. It's all about getting your processes organized in your business, which I love. And then I'm also reading right now, I Know How She Does It. And
Oh, okay.
I love this Laura Vanderkam. She writes all about like women and their time. And she actually surveyed so many women in this book and where they spend their time and how they're successful and also have kids and family life. So it's interesting.
Oh, nice. I love that. Thank you for
Mhm.
sharing that. Do you have any funny stories or from FaceTime or Zoom calls?
I've been, the thing is, I was wearing sweatpants, Roots joggers way before COVID during every single one of my Zoom.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't have any funny things like that, but I did get a puppy. So he's been coming into all of I know, and he's actually downstairs right now. So I can't get him, but he was coming in and
Oh,
everybody was like, and it really is that Instagram meme you see, we're saying the dogs really make everything. Everybody's like, oh my God. So it really makes the Zoom calls way more fun.
oh my goodness. I'm so jealous. That's amazing. That's so
Yes.
great. But yeah, they do bring a different light to the world, right? When you bring them
Yeah,
on.
so cute.
That's so cute. Where's the first place you will travel when we're allowed to?
Bahamas.
Bahamas. Ooh, very nice. What is one thing you hope doesn't change or you want to keep the same from quarantine?
Oh, the one thing I want to keep the same is actually I like Zoom calls because I found it inefficient to do a lot of meetings and drive places or
Yeah.
in corporate we wasted travel money and airplanes. I think so much can be done via Zoom and now everybody knows how to use it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it will change a lot of meetings. That could be, 5 to 10 minutes, and then you take out that commute, that
Yep.
coffee order, etc. Right? So yeah, I
Yeah,
do believe that it will hopefully make the business world a bit more efficient for sure.
exactly.
And the last question is, if you could describe quarantine or COVID with one word, what would it be?
Oh, I think the word is what's the word I'm looking for? Like it's stressful, but it's something that we've never experienced before. So just in like I don't know, inexperience, nothing like it.
Nothing like it.
Mm.
Okay, I love it. Yeah, thank you so much for that. So I just have a few more questions for you. Um, What is one valuable piece of advice that you could give to a woman to overcome challenges in the workplace?
It's a good question. And, I worked in construction for 10 years, which is very male dominated.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the one advice I have is just whether you're a man or a woman, you just have to know your job well and always present yourself in that light and make sure you have the research for what you're talking about, have the numbers, and be ready to stand up for yourself if you're questioned on it. But I think men and women, we both have those challenges, and we need to just stand up for it and go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really great to stand up for what you believe in and what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What would you say is the biggest lesson that entrepreneurship has taught you?
Oh, so when you really need to, it's not for everybody. And the lesson is really, all jobs are great jobs, whether you're working for somebody, you entrepreneur, but if you are working for somebody that the biggest lesson is there's so much risk involved. You don't have everything from employment insurance, from like your customers aren't guaranteed. There's a lot of risk. So you have to already have a little bit of backing or some other experience. I say as in case, right? Because there's huge risk involved.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What would you say is one thing that you're going to make happen this year?
I'm going to get my third book deal.
Ooh, nice. And is it something that you've already completed?
Yeah, well, no, I haven't completed it, just a proposal, and it's
Okay.
out with my agent, and we'll see what kind of happens with it. Hopefully it'll be published. I'm hoping my manifesting is January 2022. It takes about 18
Amazing.
months. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Oh, very, very exciting. That's
Woo.
awesome. Well, I'll put it out there for you as well.
Yes, thank
Hopefully
you. I'll listen to
everything
this
works
in
out.
2 years.
Yeah, yep. We've put it out there already.
Yeah.
Okay, and so the last question I have, which I always like to end with, is what is your favorite thing about being a female?
Oh, I love that question. And it's our innate ability to want to help other people. Like that's why we're entrepreneurs. I just want to help everybody. And like that
Yeah.
is a good quality. And working with so many women, there's never competition. We just want to help.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. No, I completely feel that as well. I always feel called to like help people, give them advice, like just figure out a way that, we can work together, we can be successful
Hmm.
together as well. Yeah, that's
Exactly.
really, really amazing. Is there anything else that you feel called to share or talk about?
Yeah, no, I just, a lot of people during these times are getting, don't be angry with yourself if you're not getting organized or you're not getting as decluttered as you like, or if you don't know where to start. You're not alone. A lot of people have these decluttering and organizing challenges. Just start. Even 10 minutes a day will make a difference.
Yeah,
And really, and if you need support, your callers can reach out to me with a DM or whatnot, and I'd love to, give them some advice or whatever. But really, just start 10 minutes a day.
perfect. That's great. That's really, really good advice. Starting small, 10 minutes for sure is something that I think that we can accomplish. Yeah, thank you so much for that. Where can we find you?
So my website's organizedjane.com. And I'm most active on my YouTube channel and Instagram. So Instagram is Organized Jane.
Perfect. So we'll definitely share all of those links. We'll have them in the show notes for everyone to check out.
Great. I'm so excited to listen to this episode and talk to your followers about organizing.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. We're definitely going to share some of the tips that you have because I know they've definitely been really beneficial for myself and organizing my business. So, yeah, thank you so much for joining me today and for sharing your story. I really, really appreciate it. I hope that things continue to get better from here on out for all of us.
I just have this feeling. So thank you so much for
Yeah.
having me.
You're welcome.